Hello everybody. Today I'm going to be talking about something that affects us all at some point in our lives, and that's stress. It might be affecting you right now. Well, today we're going to be talking about what causes stress and what to do about it if you're stressed out now or get stressed out in the future. But first, please subscribe and turn on notifications to be notified each time that I upload a brand new video. One of the things I've learned about stress is that most stress has been brought on by you. If you're stressed out now, most likely it's your own fault. I know that wasn't what you wanted to hear, and a lot of people want to take the victim mentality, woe is me, woe is me. But in reality, most of the time, if you're stressed out, it's your own fault. Most stress comes from bad decisions. For example, bad financial decisions. Say you got a raise at your job, or you got a boost in your salary. Well, the first thing a lot of people will do, as soon as they get a raise, as soon as they start making a little more money, is they'll go out and buy, say, a new car. Or they'll go buy a bigger house. They'll go in debt for these things because they got more money coming in. They think it's going to be okay. I can spend this money, I can live it up, and I can look good in front of my neighbors. That's one thing that gets a lot of people, is they spend beyond their means, or they spend to their maximum amount of income. If they're making $50,000 a year, they spend $50,000 a year or more. If they're making $100,000 a year, they'll spend $100,000 a year or more. And it's always, the reason they spend is usually to show off in front of their neighbors. They want to have a better looking car than their friends have. They want to have a better looking house than their neighbors have. They want to wear more and more expensive jewelry than their friends have, or their girlfriends have, or their guy friends have. They want to have the biggest TV of all their friends. They want to have the biggest and best, and they go in debt for this stuff usually. They spend to the maximum. If you're having to go in debt for whatever you buy, actually you're not spending within your budget. You're spending beyond your budget. Because if you're going in debt, that means you're spending money that you don't yet have. When you spend money that you don't yet have, that puts stress on the person that's paying these bills. So it's best, if at all possible, to avoid things that cause you stress, like going in debt. If you can afford to pay cash for your car, if you can afford to pay cash for your home, most people can't, but if you can, that's great. It keeps down a whole lot of stress. It alleviates a lot of pressure. It alleviates a lot of pressure and stress. It keeps you tossing and turning at night. Always try to live within your means. Be happy with what you have. I mean, if you live in a 2-bedroom trailer on some land that's paid off, that's great. If that's probably all you need, especially if you're by yourself, you have no kids, you have no husband or wife or whatever, you don't need any more room. Say you're by yourself and you live in a older 2-bedroom mobile home on your own land that's paid for. So what if you get more money coming in? So what if you start making $125,000 a year or more? Stay where you're at. If you don't need the extra room, then don't go in debt. Don't buy a bigger house to try to impress your neighbors, to try to impress your friends, to try to impress anyone. You've got to get the attitude that you could care less what these people think. If this person don't like you, who cares? Screw them. If this person over here don't like you, who cares? It doesn't make any difference if people like you or not. You have to answer to yourself, and the stress that keeps you awake at night. And not worrying about what these people think about you, one way or the other. If you're driving an old beater car, it's paid for. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about it anymore. You don't have to keep up with their payments every month. You don't have to worry about, oh my God, am I going to get this paid this month? What am I going to do? This money here, something happened here. Say something broke down. I had to buy a new refrigerator. I had to buy a new washer and dryer. Now, where's the money coming from to pay this house payment? Where's the money coming from to pay this car payment? Where's the money coming from for this and that? After I had this expense here I had to pay. What am I going to do now? If you had stayed where you were in, say, the 2-bedroom mobile home that was paid for, or a camper trailer, or whatever you live in right now is paid for, if it's keeping you warm, it's keeping you dry, it's really all you need. Who cares about impressing someone else? I mean, if you have the money and you want to impress yourself and you have the cash money to spend on these things, go for it. It's your decision. But especially if you're having to go in debt, think about it and be very, very cautious, because debt causes stress. If at all possible, like I said, stay out of debt. Most stress is caused by financial issues, and most financial issues are caused by overspending, spending above your income. Don't do it. Do everything you can to don't go in debt and stay within your budget. If you're happy where you're at and you have plenty of room, if you're warm, you're dry, that's all you need. Don't worry about buying a bigger house or having a bigger home built on your property to impress your neighbors. Your neighbors live in this 4-bedroom home over here. Well, golly, I gotta take and buy or build something bigger, something better, something grander. Because I want my neighbors, when they pull in their driveway, to look over at my house and say, gosh, I wish I lived in that house. I'm so envious of him or her. Screw them. Who cares what they think? Don't worry about what everyone else thinks about you. If you're happy, if you're comfortable, that is what matters. There's no need to upgrade to a nicer car, to a newer car, if your car runs good. If your car gets you reliably from point A to point B, there's no need to worry about buying a new car. Some of the new cars anymore are as much as a home, or close to it. If you're comfortable in your house, if you're warm, you're dry, you're cool this summer, and everything is fine, don't worry about getting a bigger house that you don't need. Don't worry about impressing anyone. As long as you're happy, you're comfortable, you're warm, you're dry, then you're fine. That's all you need. And by staying out of debt will help you stay stress-free. Another thing that causes a lot of stress with a lot of people at certain points in their lives are bad relationships. Sometimes, well, actually all the time, it's better to get out of the relationship, cut it off, get the divorce, separate, whatever needs to be done. It's better off to do that now if you're not happy, if you don't see it changing in the future, if you're not trying to work it out. I mean, don't say you're trying to work it out for the kids or whatever. It's great to stay together, and I advise everyone to try to stay together if possible. But if you see that the relationship is over, if the love is gone, if the passion is gone, and you're just stressed out being in that relationship, then it's time to get out of that relationship. I know a lot of people, they will be in relationships and not have any kids, not have any property together, and they're all stressed out with this relationship constantly, all the time, worried. Or what this person doing? Are they out here cheating? All kinds of things. They're always worried about going through their mind. They're always stressed. They're always fighting. They're always bickering. But you stay in these relationships 2, 3, 4, 5 years or longer and be stressed out the whole time because they're not happy. If you're not happy, if it's not getting any better, cut it off. Go your separate ways. Call it quits. If you have to get a restraining order on this person, some relationships, one person wants to end it while the other one don't. If that's the case, you may have to get a restraining order. Do what you have to do to end the relationship if it's causing you stress. If something's causing you stress, get rid of it. Squish it. Get rid of it. Don't have no more. Get rid of it. Don't keep dealing with it. Get rid of the stress, because stress is not good on your health. It's not good on anything. It's not good at all. And sometimes to get rid of your stress, you have to get rid of what's stressing you. Another thing that causes a lot of stress with a lot of people is health issues. You worry about being sick, and perhaps you are sick, and you worry about getting sick. Say you have a history of heart disease in your family. You're always stressing out about developing heart disease later in your life. But stressing out about getting the heart disease isn't going to help you at all. It actually makes the heart disease more likely to happen, because chronic stress has been proven to cause inflammation. And inflammation is way more important when it comes to heart health. Keeping inflammation down is way more important when it comes to heart health than cholesterol. But that's a whole other issue. Won't get into right now. Now we're talking about stress. We're talking about heart disease, cholesterol, and the pharmaceutical companies pushing all this junk on everyone to try to keep everybody on blood pressure medication and cholesterol medication. But anyway, I'm rambling on and getting on a different topic here. This video is about stress. Let's get back on topic. Get your health in order. Instead of sitting and worrying about your health, instead of tossing and turning at night worrying about your health, do something about it. Get out and exercise. Walk. Lift some weights. Do some pull-ups. Exercise. Start eating better. Take the right kind of supplements. Get your health in order. Go get a full checkup at the doctor. Get blood work done and everything examined and checked up. That way you know what areas of your health that you need to work on. But instead of just stressing about your health and what might happen, do something about it. Get out and exercise. Walk. Run. Buy a treadmill. Buy a bike. Do something to get some physical activity. Stretch. Instead of worrying about your health and the potential illness that might happen later in your life, or that's happened already, get yourself in better condition. Do what you can to stay in better condition. And actually getting out and exercising, say walking, running, lifting weights, doing pull-ups, doing curls, whatever. It's all will actually help get ready for stress at that moment. Say you're stressed out right now. Go take a walk. Go walk, exercise, do something, do some physical activity, and this will help you get rid of the stress. That's a proven fact. If you're stressed, instead of just laying down in the bed, pouting, woe is me, get your butt up off of the couch, get away from in front of the TV, and get out and do something. Do something constructive. Take your health in your own hands. Start eating better, exercising, taking the right supplements, and you'll worry a whole lot less about future health issues and current health issues, and you'll be far less likely to develop health issues in the future. Another thing that causes a lot of stress with a lot of people is they're not happy with their job. They hate working where they're at. I had a job once myself. It was at a flooring company, and that place was so horrible. I worked there almost 6 years, and it was the worst place I ever worked in my life. Every day, I worked second shift, third shift, and first shift while I was there. I worked different shifts at different shifts at different times during the time that I worked there. And every shift I hated, especially second and third shift. Those were the worst because I had to get up, say I was working second shift. I'd have to get up and worry about going to work all day. Then I get to work and I have to start to work at, I think it's 3:30, and by the time I got to work, I was all worked up. My blood pressure was probably sky high from worrying about going in that place and working there. It was just awful. It wasn't worth it, and I worked and I worked and worked because for this area at the time, the pay was good, and the insurance was good, so I stayed there. But I was stressed all the time. I felt like before I went in there to go to work for that shift, I felt like a few times I was going to break down and cry. It was so bad. I hate to admit that, but it was horrible. The bosses was horrible. The job was horrible. The noise was so loud that you could not even hear anyone talk. They could be right here beside you. They have to be screaming at you before you could hear and understand what they were saying. I had to wear earplugs because it caused hearing damage. It was so loud. All the saws and all the sanders and things in there. It was a constant roar. And it was a lot of sawdust and hardwood dust. And hardwood dust is a proven carcinogen, which isn't good to be working in that stuff. But I worked there, like I said, for nearly 6 years. And even after I quit, I had enough. I couldn't take it no more. I quit and went to work at a hardware store, which paid about $4 an hour or less because I had to get out of that place before I died. But even after I quit that job, I was blowing out brown looking sawdust stuff from my nose for probably 2 to 3 months after I quit that job. It couldn't have been healthy, and that put me under stress too because I was worried about, lung cancer from all the sawdust and the things. Because I had constant sinus infection, I had pleurisy, it was just a mess. And like I said, I worked there for close to 6 years. I hated it every day, put me under a lot of stress, and probably in the long run took years off my life. All because I was making a few extra dollars an hour. And that's because I had bills to pay, and I had to work there to pay these bills. Choices. If I'd been out of debt, if I'd had lower bills at the time, I could have told those bosses in there to, But I stayed with it for a long time, and I finally had enough. I couldn't stand no more if I was going to die. But the moral of the story is, your job will cause a lot of stress. If you're not happy, find a new job. If you can't find a job that pays more without getting more education, without taking more training, without going to a trade school or something like that, do it. Get off your butt, be proactive, and go do it. Learn a new trade so you can quit this job later. If you're studying something else and you know that your future is going to be better, you're studying for this and you know that just 6 months from now I can tell these people at this job to kiss my butt and I can go to this other job over here that I've been actually training for and be a whole lot happier. You know, and you'll be going to work, no matter what the boss says, you'll be happy. You won't be nearly as stressed out because you know it's in a few short months, if you keep working at it, that you'll be telling this boss over here to go jump over a cliff. You're going to a new job where you know you'll be happy. Always be doing something to better yourself. If you're not happy, change it. Like I said at the start of this video, most stress is brought on by your decisions. Bad decisions bring on stress. The bigger the decision, the worse the decision, the more stress. Avoid making bad decisions. You should always have goals. You should always be working towards something. Working towards something better. Working to learn something else. Working to better yourself. Working to get into better condition. You should always be working towards a goal. If you just sit down and you have no goals, besides just sitting on the couch, watching football games or sitcoms or whatever you like to watch, playing video games or whatever, big waste of time, all that stuff is. But if that's what you're doing with your life, you have no goals. You need goals to alleviate stress. If you're working towards something, then you don't have time to be stressed. And it makes you feel better in your mind because you're actually working towards something to get rid of the stress. Another thing is having the wrong friends can cause a lot of stress. If these friends over here, so-called friends, are stressing you out, if they're causing you problems, get some new friends. You're better off if you got so-called friends that are causing you problems and stressing you out. You're better off to get rid of these people over here, the so-called friends, and just be by yourself. If you can't find any more friends right now, that's even better. Then you can have some time by yourself. You can have some time for yourself. You can have some time to think. You can have some time to work on yourself and improve yourself and to get your goals, start working towards your own goals. If these friends are toxic, cut them off, get rid of them. Anything that's stressing your life out, cut it off, get rid of it. Another big mistake that I see a lot of people make who are under stress is they will try to self-medicate, meaning that they get stressed out, they start drinking. They start doing drugs. They start smoking pot. They start doing all kinds of different substances. Sometimes they mix it up, sometimes they do the one substance, but they rely on drinking, marijuana, hard drugs. They rely on something kind of chemical to alter their mental state to try to get rid of the stress. And while this might work for a little bit, it might work for a little while, but say you get drunk, you get stressed out, and you get drunk. You get falling down drunk. You pass out asleep. You wake up the next day, you got a hangover. You're broke. You probably pissed your pants. So now you got more stress. You got to get more money back. You're sick. You got to change your pants. I mean, abusing substances like drugs, alcohol, or whatever to try to help with your own stress and depression doesn't do any good. One thing that I found that really helps stress and helps you sleep at night is Valerian root. You can order Valerian root off Amazon.com, or you can find it at just about any place that sells vitamins and supplements. I'll link to the product that I use in the description below. I don't really take this for stress anymore, but I've done a lot of research on it and it works for stress. I take this now for help me sleep better because my mind's always working and I'm always trying to figure out how to better my life, and that keeps me stressed out in a way because I'm trying to figure out how to better my life, how to do this and how to do that, how to make my business grow, how to make this YouTube channel grow, my next book is coming up. I'm always thinking. It takes me a little bit to shut my mind down when I go to sleep at night, or when I go to bed at night, I mean. So I found that this kind works the best. It says Nature's Way, Standardized Valerian Root. Got this off Amazon.com. Like I said, I put a link below. You can check this out, check the reviews and things about this. But if you're trying to get rid of just general stress, then you're supposed to take 3 a day. 1 in the morning, 1 at like say 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, or whenever right in that time area, and then 1 in the evenings before you go to bed. If you're taking this to help you sleep, then you take 3 about an hour before bedtime, and it works. It works really well, and it's cheap, and there's no side effects, and you won't wake up with a hangover or pee in your pants. A good book that I've also found that might help a lot of you all is this one, How to Slay the Worry Monster. I'll link to this in the description below. Also, you can get this off Amazon.com. It's How to Slay the Worry Monster, the arsenal you need to defeat generalized anxiety disorder. And it's got a lot of good tips, a lot of good advice in this book. And if you're stressed out, I suggest you get this book and read it. And maybe some of the tips in here will help. I hope this video helps, but I can only go over so much in a video. And I hope that if you are stressed out and you can't get your life in order, you can't get your finances in order right now. I mean, it takes a little bit of time to get this stuff going. You can't get your health in order. And you need something right now. Maybe this book, the information in this book will help, and maybe the Valorant route will help, and hopefully this video will help someone. And once again, please subscribe and turn on notifications to be notified each time that I upload a new video.